All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Bryson Keltner, and I am WKU's International Admissions Counselor. I'm coming to you live here at Western Kentucky University's campus, giving you a tour today of our International Center. I am so excited for this particular webinar because this is my absolute favorite building on campus. It's so beautiful. And I'm a little bit biased because it's the building where I work, but it is really great. And also, this building means a lot to our international students because this is where our international student advisors are located. If you have any kind of questions, then this is the building where you come. But also, this building is where we have international student orientation. It's also where we have international graduation reception. So in a way, this building kind of signifies your beginning, your middle, and your end here at WKU. So it's very, very special. We're gonna go on and get started, but first I have a couple of very special guests here with me today. I have George from International Student and Scholar Services, and I have Mallory, who is one of our study abroad student representatives. So before we get started, George, you wanna come on and say hi and introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, sure. Hey, it's great to be with you guys. Happy to be here and talk a little bit about this building that we have, this great International Center. It's the Honor College and International Center building. And the university put those things together because we know that it's linked, you know, the high achieving students and international students are often the same. And we have great experiences with international students and this building is really interesting. We moved into it in 2015, in October of 2015. It's this special building that, you know, is largely dedicated to international education. It shows WKU's commitment to internationalization and globalization, education that reaches out to embrace the world.
All right, thanks, George. And hi, Mal, do you want to say hi as well?
Hi, yes. Hi, I'm Mallory Byrne. I am a senior here at WKU now, and I am also, like Bryson said, a student representative for the Study Abroad and Global Learning Office. We'll be talking about them a little bit later, but hopefully I'll get to see some of you guys in the office next year. We're around quite a bit. You'll see it right when you walk in. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, though.
All right, so we'll go on and get started. I do want to say, so this is the building we'll be touring today, but it is very close to the center of campus. So if I turn around here, I don't know if you can quite see it, but there's a very large red statue. That is the geographical center of campus. So this location is pretty prime. And then these two buildings here, these are residence halls. So if you stay in one of those halls, you're pretty centrally located here. But we'll go on and get started with our building tour. So again, this is the Honors College and International Center, as George was saying. And you can see it is very, very beautiful. And you might be able to see there are several flags here in the front of campus, flags from different countries all over the world. And that's really special because each one of those flags represents a current nationality of a student studying here at WKU. So that's just kind of how we showcase some of our international students. But we'll go on and enter the building. I might lose you for just a second because I'll have to switch to Wi-Fi, so pardon me for just one moment. All right, I should be returning to you. Can everyone still see me and hear me? All right, perfect. Okay, so we are currently in the front lobby here. This is the Schrader Lounge Commons, and you can see it is very open, very spacious, and obviously very beautiful. So one thing I want to go on and point out about this building is there is so much prime study real estate. So during the semester, when students are here on campus, you'll see students all over this building studying, working on group projects with their friends, maybe just hanging out as well. But as you can see, this building is immaculate. I just want to take a moment to kind of zoom around here and show you. Very, very beautiful. As you can see too, there's a grand piano here. So sometimes when we have big events in the building, someone will be playing the piano just to kind of serenade everyone. But yes, very beautiful. And now I'm going to come in this office. This office you'll be very familiar with your time at WKU. So this suite is dedicated to study abroad and global learning and our international student and scholar services. And there is a difference between the two. So I think this is a good opportunity, George, if you want to come on and talk a little bit about international student and scholar services and what you all do.
Sure. We work with students who come from various countries around the world who come to the United States on student visas or exchange visitor visas. And we work to help assist students in navigating the various university systems, you know, because schools are different around the world. So we understand that students might need some guidance about, you know, how to get things done. We help students with maintaining their immigration or visa status. You know, we help them understand the rules and regulations and all that sort of stuff. We help with applying for the various benefits that international students might be able to get. For example, if they need to do some work at an internship or something like that, we help them do the proper government applications for that. And also the government applications for like optional practical training for after they complete their studies, if they want to work in the United States for a year or so after they complete their studies. And we also do some informational programming for students. We, you know, put on workshops like for career, you know, career search stuff, things like that. Students will come into our office. We almost always have someone who's available on call for walk-in service. They'll come in. It's as Mallory was indicating, we're right on the ground floor, so it's really easy to find the office. You walk right in, and there we are. And so then we're happy to help students out with the various needs and understanding our, you know, really different systems here.
Exactly. So you all will be very familiar with this office if you come here as an international student at WKU. So thanks, George, for kind of talking about ISSS, as we like to call it, International Student and Scholar Services. But then also, like I said, in this suite, there is study abroad and global learning. So a little bit different than our international students studying here at WKU. In a sense, you all are studying abroad, right? Because you're studying in a different country than where you're from. But here at WKU, study abroad and global learning is a big part of our culture here because we often have students go to other countries as well. They're usually not for their whole entire degree, but we have all kinds of different types of programs where our students can go to different countries and different states. So Mallory, do you want to talk a little bit about study abroad?
Yes. So like Bryson said, we're also in this suite. So we offer many different types of study abroad programs here at WKU, which is really great. And they can range from semester-long to year-long programs, as well as shorter-term programs in the winter or summer. And they can be both internationally or just domestic within the United States. We call this study away programs. And there are a lot of different options for people. And we have even faculty-led programs, which are typically our shorter term programs, which are the winter or summer. And those are actually led by faculty at WKU, sorry. And they're just a lot of different options. And I also mentioned previously that I am a student representative with the Study Abroad office. And in what we do with the Study Abroad office, you'll actually see us in that room that Bryson's looking at right now. We have our weekly office hours, so you can come into the office informally, just chat with us. You don't even have to talk about study abroad. You can just have a fun conversation. We're just there to get to know everyone, and to let other students know about study abroad.
Yes, so like Mallory was saying, if you didn't get a good look at this room, so this is our room completely devoted to students. So this is where our study abroad student representatives hang out. You can come and talk to them about anything, especially for study abroad, but it's also where our international student diplomats will do a lot of their office hours. So our study abroad student representatives are kind of our ambassadors for our study abroad programs here at WKU. But similarly, our student diplomats are kind of our ambassadors for our international students. So they are here as a resource to you. They will chat with you. They'll do WhatsApp. They can do Skype sessions with you before you arrive at WKU if you want to talk to a real live international student, because, you know, Mallory and George and I can talk about WKU all day, but we've never been an actual international student at WKU. So if you want to get that kind of perspective, you can absolutely talk to one of our student diplomats. So as you can kind of tell from what we're talking about, this entire suite that we're in is completely devoted to our students, whether you are an international student or whether you're an American student wanting to go abroad. So it's very, very special to us. But I'm going to go on and continue with a tour of the building, and George and Mallory, feel free to jump in at any time if you'd like to share anything about the building as well. But something else about study abroad, we have a couple of different partners here at WKU. One of them is Keys, and this is their office. They are a study abroad program for different schools around Kentucky for students to go and participate in with different programs abroad all over the world. This is a few of their programs they have on the wall. I don't know if you can see, but they're some of examples of their programs. And over here is a very special portion of the building. These are actual British phone booths from London that we've had imported. One of our most popular study abroad programs is called Harlexton College, and it is a huge study abroad program in Grantham, England. So that's just to kind of show our partnership with them. But if you do want to study abroad, we do have international students who come for their degree here at WKU, and they go on some of our study abroad and study away programs. So we did want to talk about those today. And sorry, it might be a bit dark. There we go. There are scholarships available as well. So Mallory, do you want to briefly talk about scholarships too? Because I know that's a question that a lot of students have about study abroad and study away.
Yes, this is such a popular topic. We actually have a paper dedicated just to scholarships in the office. So we have a lot of different scholarships you can apply for study abroad within WKU as well as outside of WKU, a lot of nationally competitive scholarships as well. And one of our big ones that we offer through our office is the World Topper Scholarship, which is solely through us, and you apply just each program you go on, and it can be up to $600 now, I believe. There might be some differing sums in the coming year, but yeah, and we are there to help you with anything that's within WKU internally, and then with anything that's outside of WKU, we can have you go to different people and use their resources as well.
All right. So this room that we're currently in, we call this the multi-purpose room. So it doesn't have a big fancy name. However, it is what it is in the title. We have all kinds of different events here in this room. It's usually filled with tables and chairs. But you'll come in this room for all kinds of different things. We'll have different student groups. We'll have fundraisers or events here in this room. But as I was saying previously, we'll have international student orientation in this room. And our graduation receptions for international students are also in here. So I definitely wanted to showcase it because it is an important one here for you at WKU. All right, so I'm actually going to come around this way. You can see the kind of the globe at the end of the hall.
Hi, everybody. It seems like Bryson's frozen. Give us just a second so he can reconnect. Mallory, do you maybe want to talk for a minute about your own study abroad experience while we wait for him to pop back in?
Sure. It looks like back.
I might be back. I'm sorry I lost you all for a second. Am I back?
Hey, you're there. Awesome.
Perfect. So sorry, I lost you all for a second. Okay, so as I was saying, hopefully you might have heard before it cut out. On this side of the building, there is our Honors College. So our Mahurin Honors College at WKU is a special program for students. Our Honors College doesn't necessarily mean that our classes in honors are much more challenging. It means that you go way more in depth to what you're studying here at WKU. So if you apply and you're accepted into the Honors College, you'll be required to take a few honors classes. with some regular classes as well. They might go more in depth as far as more research or more interesting topics, more conversation. But it's just definitely some perks because it gives you kind of more of a distinction and gets you kind of more doing hands-on and in-depth work for your studies. But then also with the Honors College, most of our students do a thesis as an undergraduate, and then they graduate with a published thesis from the Honors College. So I did want to point that out. If you're interested in the Honors College and want to learn some more information about it, you can go to wku.edu/honors, and we can put that in the chat for you as well. Something else I want to showcase in this area of the building, here's our red towel wall. So our red towel is a big symbol at WKU. There's kind of a long story with how that came to be, but the red towel, there's literally a statue of a red towel on campus, which I know is kind of odd, but it's definitely a symbol. And it's kind of a thing too, to where if you go to other parts of the world, as a student at WKU, you take your red towel with you and take photos with it, just to kind of show that your Hilltopper WKU spirit is in a different place. So here are a few examples of that. And I do want to go outside here for a moment as well. It's a little rainy today. Let me switch to a little bit rainy today, but I wanted to show you this outside portion. So we have this big back lawn here at the Honors College International Center. So a lot of events are held outside on the lawn throughout the semester. And you can see there's still a lot of study spaces, different tables here for our students to enjoy when the weather is nice. So I wanted to showcase this as well. And let me switch back one more time and I won't go outside anymore, I promise. All right, just to make sure, can everyone still hear me and see me? All right, so we're gonna go on upstairs now. And again, all kinds of study real estate here for our students when the semester is going on. All right. So on the second floor of the building, we have what is called the Modern Languages Department. So our modern languages at WKU are our different areas of study where you study a specific language. So we have Arabic, Chinese, French, Spanish, all kinds of different ones. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. I'm a little out of shape. But if you have any of those classes, a lot of those will be located in this building, in these classrooms. This one is open, so I'll show you. This is what a typical classroom will look like. WKU, there's some lights for you. So this is just a good example of a class size. We do take pride in small classes here at WKU. Our average class size is 24 students, which is really amazing because when a university of our size, usually your classes will be much larger in the US. But we take pride in having very small classes, so they're a lot more individualized. So your professor will know your name for sure. You'll be able to raise your hands, ask questions, that kind of thing. I do apologize for all of the looks like junk out here, but we're currently cleaning the building. So usually all of these chairs and tables are in the rooms. But something else I want to point out on this floor, we have individualized study rooms. So these tables, again, are usually in here. But the great thing about these is you and your friends can come in these different rooms and close the door and work on group projects, write papers, do some studying, and be completely left alone so you're not distracted by anything else. I know when I was a student, I definitely utilized these study rooms. Valerie has done the same. Can everyone still hear me and see me? Cool, all right, just making sure. Okay, so here on the third floor, this is also a special part because, first off, let me show you this study room. A little bigger, a little nicer. And then also on this floor, if you notice going all down the halls, we have different national anthems of different nations all over the world. So again, all through this building, there's all kinds of little celebrations of our international flair that we have here at WKU. So this is just kind of a little welcoming thing. It's kind of neat, no matter where you're from, you might show up and see your national anthem here in this hallway. Also on this floor, there are other classrooms. So you might have some classes up here as well. And something else I want to point out, our Pathways programs are located in this building. So our Pathways at WKU is kind of a program that enables your success here at WKU and helps you kind of integrate into the university. So some of our scholarships actually require international students to go through the Pathways program, some do not. But then also, if you apply for WKU and your English proficiency might not be quite to what we normally accept as our standards for an English proficiency exam, we can still admit you as long as you go through the pathway and as long as it's relatively close to what we accept. So the pathways, those include a few classes that might help you brush up on your English, strengthen your English skills if you need that. But then also they're classes that kind of help you integrate. So for example, one class might be an American pop culture course. So again, it's just to kind of enable your success and help you integrate into the university. So those will be around this area as well. And then the last thing I want to show you in this building is one of my favorites because it's where I work. But in this area, we have international admissions. So anything that you need as far as admissions requirements or questions about your admission status or financial things within international is on this floor. I'm not going to show you in there because it's a little dark and there's definitely a lot of junk in the hallways because we are cleaning and organizing in there, but that is where we are located. So that's pretty much it as far as the building goes. Pretty quick tour today. However, like I said, I want to encourage you, if you have any questions for us, the three of us, put those in the chat box and we'd be more than happy to answer those for you. Also, if there's anything else that you or George or Mallory want to say as well, before we have questions, feel free to do that.
I just wanted to say thanks for joining us today in this, and I hope you got a good sense of how important internationalization is to WKU. It's really near and dear to our hearts that we, reach out and embrace the world, and that you come and visit us and stay and study and be successful. That's all I'd want to add.
Thanks, George. So again, is there any questions at all about our building here or studying at WKU, really anything that you'd like to hear from us? Nothing at all? Give you just one more minute just in case. But then also, if you think of anything after we log off here, you can absolutely still reach out to us. If you want to email us at iem@wku.edu, you can absolutely do that. So we would be happy to answer anything. We can also WhatsApp you. So if you're more comfortable with WhatsApping, we can send you that via our email as well. But if you don't have anything, any other questions, that's pretty much it for today. Again, thank you so much for joining us for our Live from the Hill series. We have several more coming up. We have one coming up for our business college. We have one coming up for our health and human services majors. So, public health, nursing, those things like that. We have one coming up for our education majors, and we also have a campus events coming up. So I'll take you kind of behind the scenes for our football stadium and our basketball arena and things like that as well. So again, thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.